There's a 22-year-old guy sitting in his childhood bedroom right now. He's scrolling through Instagram, watching other people live the life he wants. He applied to 17 jobs this month, 0 callbacks. His ex-girlfriend just posted vacation photos with someone new. His parents keep asking when he's going to figure things out. He's wondering the same thing. Here's what nobody told him. He's not broken. The game changed, and nobody updated the instruction manual. Between 2008 and 2018, the percentage of young men who hadn't had sex in the past year jumped from 8% to 28%. That's not a typo. 1 in 4 young men is now completely disconnected from intimate relationships. Meanwhile, 45% of guys aged 18 to 25 have never even approached a woman in person, not once. The stats get darker. Men are 3 times more likely to overdose, 4 times more likely to commit suicide, 12 times more likely to end up in prison. The percentage of young men aged 20 to 24 who aren't in school or working has tripled since 1980. College graduation ratios now sit at roughly 33 men for every 66 women. Something broke, and we're living in the aftermath. But here's the twist that changes everything. The solution isn't complicated. It's not about reading ancient philosophy or becoming some alpha male caricature. The answer is simpler than you think, and way more powerful. That guy in his bedroom, 6 months from now, he could be unrecognizable. Not because he won the lottery or got lucky, because he learned something most people never figure out. Masculinity isn't about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about mastering the basics so well that everything else falls into place. What you're about to discover isn't theory. These are the exact methods that have pulled thousands of young men out of depression, unemployment, and isolation. This is the blueprint nobody teaches in school, but everyone wishes they learned at 20. The transformation starts with understanding one brutal truth. Your phone is stealing your future. Chapter 1. The Time Heist. Let's talk about your most valuable asset. It's not money. You probably don't have much. It's not connections. Those take years to build. Your only real capital right now is time, and someone is robbing you blind every single day. Pull out your phone right now. Go to Screen Time or Digital Well-Being. Look at last week's numbers. I'll wait. 8 hours a day? 10? Most young men spend more time on their phones than they do sleeping. TikTok alone averages 95 minutes daily. Add Instagram, YouTube, Reddit, Discord, sports betting apps, and you're burning 50+ hours a week. That's a full-time job you're not getting paid for. Here's the math that'll punch you in the gut. If you're scrolling 3 hours daily, that's 1,095 hours per year. Over a decade, that's 10,950 hours, enough time to master 3 different skills, start 2 businesses, or become fluent in 5 languages. Instead, you've memorized dance trends and cryptocurrency arguments that'll be irrelevant next month. But here's where it gets interesting. You don't need to become a digital monk. You don't need to delete everything and move to a cabin. You just need to reallocate. Take your current screen time. Cut it in half. Just half. If you're at 6 hours daily, drop to 3. Those 3 freed up hours become your transformation fund. Every single day, you just bought yourself back 21 hours weekly. Now comes the strategic deployment. 1 hour goes to your body. 1 hour goes to your earning power. 1 hour goes to human connection. That's it. That's the formula. Within 30 days, you'll notice your brain working differently. The dopamine addiction starts breaking. You'll stop checking your phone every 7 minutes. You'll actually finish thoughts. You'll remember what you read. Within 90 days, you'll have visible muscle definition, an extra $1,000 in your account, and actual friends you see face to face. The digital world is designed by the smartest engineers on the planet, paid millions to keep you scrolling. Every color, every notification sound, every infinite scroll, it's weaponized psychology. You're fighting a billion-dollar warfare system designed to colonize your attention. So stop fighting fair. Set app limits. Put your phone in another room when you sleep. Delete the apps that hurt you most. Not forever, just for 30 days. See what happens. Here's what nobody tells you. Boredom is a superpower. When you're bored, your brain creates. It solves problems. It generates ideas. Every major breakthrough in your life will come from boredom, not stimulation. The men winning right now aren't smarter than you. They just protected their time better. They understood that every hour given to distraction is an hour stolen from their future selves. Your phone isn't the enemy. Your relationship with it is. Chapter 2. The Body Blueprint. Walk into any gym. Notice who's there? Not the guys drowning in video games and depression. The men building their bodies are building their lives simultaneously. Here's why. Your physical state directly controls your mental state. It's not motivation that creates action. It's action that creates motivation. You can't think your way into confidence. You have to build it with your hands. Testosterone, the hormone that makes men men, is under attack. Average testosterone levels have dropped 1% annually for the past 30 years. The average 22-year-old today has the testosterone level of a 67-year-old from 1987. Why? Sedentary lifestyles, processed foods, constant stress, lack of sleep, porn addiction, digital overload. Your body thinks it's in survival mode 24/7, so it shuts down reproduction hormones. Evolution doesn't care about your dating life. But here's the miracle. Lift heavy things and your body reverses the decline. Squats, deadlifts, bench press. These compound movements tell your endocrine system, we need strength, we need energy, we need to compete. Within 2 weeks of consistent training, testosterone production increases. Within 4 weeks, you'll sleep better. Within 8 weeks, strangers notice the difference before you tell them anything. Strength training isn't about looking good shirtless, though that's a nice bonus. It's about controlling the chaos inside your skull. When anxiety hits, when depression whispers, when anger builds, your body needs somewhere to discharge that energy. Without physical exertion, those emotions corrode you from inside. You become snappish, isolated, lost in imaginary conflicts that never happened. The gym becomes your reset button. Bad day? Deadlift until your hands bleed. Breakup? Sprint until your lungs burn. Rejected from another job? Punch the heavy bag until your knuckles ache. You're not running from problems. You're forging the armor to face them. Start small. 3 days weekly, 30 minutes per session. Follow a beginner program. Starting strength, strong lifts 5x5, any structured plan. Track your progress. Watch the numbers climb. But here's the secret weapon. You're not just building muscle. You're building proof. Proof that you can set a goal and achieve it. Proof that consistency compounds. Proof that you're capable of hard things. Every rep is a negotiation with your weaker self. Every workout is a victory over the voice saying, skip today. The discipline you build in the gym infiltrates every other area of your life. And here's what happens next. Women notice. Not because you're huge, but because you carry yourself differently. You take up space. You move with purpose. Your handshake has weight. Your eye contact holds steady. But more importantly, you notice yourself. You respect yourself. You become someone you'd want to follow. Your body isn't a temple. It's a weapon. Build it accordingly. Chapter 3. The Money Machine. Let's talk about the thing nobody wants to admit. Money solves most problems. Not all problems, but most. Especially the problems drowning young men right now. Can't move out of your parents' house? Money. Can't afford to date? Money. Can't take risks or chase opportunities? Money. Can't afford therapy or healthy food or the time to figure out your purpose? Money. Here's the brutal truth. You're poor because you're not earning, and you're not earning because you haven't started. You're waiting for the perfect job, the dream opportunity, the thing that aligns with your passion. Meanwhile, your bank account has 2 digits and one of them is 0. Stop waiting. Start earning. Today. Right now. Anyone with a phone and a pulse can make money within 24 hours. Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, TaskRabbit, Fiverr, these platforms will pay you this week for work you do today. It won't be glamorous. You'll haul groceries and drive drunk strangers home. You'll assemble IKEA furniture and walk dogs. Do it anyway. Because here's what happens. You make your first $200, then $500. Then you realize you just earned more in a weekend than you made all month doing nothing. Your brain lights up. You got a taste of agency, of control, of power. You start thinking, what if I did this full time? What if I got better at it? What if I learned skills that paid even more? That's the shift. From consumer to producer. From dependent to independent. From boy to man. Now take 20% of everything you earn and put it somewhere you can't easily touch. Separate savings account, investment app, index fund, doesn't matter where, just separate it from spending money. Watch it grow. $40 becomes $200, becomes $5,000. Suddenly, you have options. You can quit a toxic job because you have a cushion. You can invest in training or equipment. You can take calculated risks. Here's what rich people know that poor people don't. Money makes money. But first, you need the seed capital. And the only way to get that is to earn more than you spend consistently for years. This means saying no. No to the $80 sneakers. No to the sports betting app. No to the $15 cocktails and $60 Uber rides. No to impressing people who don't care about you. Track every dollar. Download a budget app. Look at where your money actually goes. Most guys have no idea they're spending $400 a month on garbage they don't need and won't remember. That $400 invested monthly in an S&P 500 index fund for 10 years at average returns, that's $82,000. In 20 years, $347,000. In 30 years, over $1 million. You're not broke because you don't make enough. You're broke because you're hemorrhaging money on dopamine hits that fade in hours. Cut the leaks. Build the machine. Feed it consistently. But here's the part that changes everything. Earning money isn't just about security. It's about respect. Self-respect. When you're contributing, when you're providing, when you're building something, you walk taller. Women notice. Employers notice. You notice. Your father's generation could graduate high school, get a factory job, buy a house, and raise a family on one income. That world is gone. The new world requires new skills, digital literacy, financial intelligence, personal branding, and the ability to monetize your knowledge. Learn to code, learn to sell, learn to write, learn to build an audience. These skills print money in 2025. But first, you need to start. Not tomorrow, not next month, today. Download the Gig app, create the profile, take the first job, earn the first dollar. Everything changes after that. Chapter 4. The Rejection Revolution. Here's the skill that separates winners from everyone else, the ability to endure rejection without shattering. Most men are terrified of hearing no, so they never ask. They never approach. They never pitch. They never try. They swipe right on dating apps and pray for matches. They apply to jobs online and hope for callbacks. They wait for life to choose them. Life doesn't choose the waiters. It rewards the askers. Think about this. 45% of young men have never approached a woman in person. Not at a bar, not at a coffee shop, not at a party. They've spent thousands of hours staring at screens, but 0 minutes risking real rejection. The result? They're catastrophizing what rejection feels like. Their imagination has turned no thanks into public humiliation and social death. Here's reality. Rejection feels like a brief sting, then nothing. You ask someone out. They say no. You feel awkward for 30 seconds. Then you go get a sandwich and forget about it. That's it. That's the monster you've been running from. But here's where it gets powerful. Rejection is a muscle. The first no kills you. The 10th no annoys you. The 100th no makes you laugh. Professional salespeople know this. They celebrate rejections because each one brings them closer to yes. If your close rate is 10%, then every 9 no's means the next one is probably yes. So here's your assignment. Get rejected 3 times this week. On purpose. Ask someone out. Cold email a potential mentor. Pitch a business idea. Apply to a job you're underqualified for. Post your creative work publicly. Collect those no's like Pokemon cards. What you'll discover? Most people are kind. They'll say no politely, wish you well, and move on. Occasionally, someone will be rude. That's their problem, not yours. You're building calluses. With each rejection, you're expanding your comfort zone. Things that terrified you at 20 become routine at 25. You develop social courage, the willingness to face social discomfort for potential reward. This courage compounds. You start asking for raises, negotiating prices, setting boundaries, ending toxic relationships, pursuing ambitious goals. The men who succeed aren't braver than you, they're just more practiced at failing. Here's the secret. Confidence doesn't create action. Action creates confidence. You don't wait to feel ready. You act scared and discover you survive. Every hero's journey starts with rejection. Every successful person has a graveyard of failures behind them. The difference? They kept going. So start collecting no's. Make it a game. Track them. Celebrate them. Because on the other side of enough rejections is the life you actually want. The dating apps won't teach you this. The algorithm can't simulate human courage. You have to log off and risk something real. Chapter 5. The Connection Cure. You know what's killing you faster than anything else? Loneliness. Not the romantic kind, though that hurts too. I'm talking about the lack of real human connection. No crew, no brotherhood, no people who actually know you. Here's what happened. Previous generations had built-in communities. Church, sports leagues, union halls, neighborhoods where people talked on porches. Your grandfather knew 20 guys he could call at 2 a.m. for help. How many do you have? 1? 0? Digital connection feels like connection, but it's junk food for your social needs. You can have 1,000 followers and 0 friends. You can text 50 people and feel completely alone. Your brain needs in-person interaction. It needs eye contact, physical proximity, shared experiences, and occasional awkward silences. It needs to see faces react to your jokes and feel the warmth of being included. Without this, you deteriorate. Depression creeps in, anxiety spikes, you start living inside your head, simulating conversations that never happen, replaying conflicts that don't exist. So here's the prescription. 3 times weekly, you will place yourself in an unfamiliar situation with strangers in service of something bigger than yourself. Join a Brazilian jiu-jitsu gym. Volunteer at an animal shelter, take an improv class, join a rec league, attend a church or community group, find a hiking club. The activity doesn't matter. What matters is consistency and proximity to other humans pursuing shared goals. Here's the rule. Within 30 days, you must introduce yourself to everyone there, all of them, by name. This feels terrifying at first. That's the point. You're rewiring your social operating system. Start with, "Hey, I'm name." That's it. The next week, add, "What's your story?" The week after, invite someone for coffee or a beer after class. Some people will say no. Most will say yes. You'll discover that humans generally like connecting. They're just waiting for someone else to initiate. Within 90 days, you'll have acquaintances. Within 6 months, you'll have friends. Within a year, you'll have a crew. People who text you unprompted, invite you to things, remember details about your life. This social fabric becomes your safety net. When crisis hits, you have people to call. When opportunity arrives, you have people to share it with. When you're struggling, you have witnesses to your pain who can help carry it. Men are tribal creatures. We're designed to hunt in packs, fight in units, build in teams. Solo males in nature don't last long. Neither do solo males in modern society. But here's what's hard. Building real friendships requires vulnerability. You have to let people see the mess. You have to admit when you're struggling. You have to ask for help. This goes against everything movies taught you. The lone wolf, the stoic warrior, the guy who handles everything himself. It's fiction. Real strength includes knowing when to lean on others. Your friendships will save your life. Literally. Men with strong social connections live longer, recover from illness faster, and report higher life satisfaction. Men without them die younger, struggle more, and suffer in silence. So get offline and get awkward. Show up somewhere weekly. Say hello to strangers. Risk the discomfort of not knowing anyone. Connection doesn't happen through screens. It happens through repetition, proximity, and shared vulnerability. Chapter 6. The Parent Paradox. Let's address the elephant sitting in your childhood bedroom with you. Your parents. You probably think they don't understand you. They're old-fashioned. They ask annoying questions. They don't get modern struggles. They're the source of half your frustration. Here's the hard truth. Unless they're actively abusing you, they're on your side. Every annoying question comes from worry. Every criticism comes from fear that you're wasting potential. Every rule comes from wanting to protect you from mistakes they made. They're not trying to ruin your life. They're trying to prevent you from ruining it yourself. Now, are they perfect? Hell no. They're humans who had no training for parenthood, making it up as they went, probably repeating patterns from their own broken childhoods. But here's what you need to understand. If you're living in their house, eating their food, using their Wi-Fi, they've earned the right to have opinions about your life. Don't want their input? Move out. Pay your own bills. Create independence. Can't afford that yet? Then show some gratitude and cooperation. Here's what most young men miss. Your parents have decades of pattern recognition you don't. They've watched people succeed and fail. They've made expensive mistakes. They have data you don't. When your dad says something pessimistic about your startup idea, he's not crushing your dreams. He's trying to prevent you from learning expensive lessons he already paid for. When your mom nags about your job search, she's not disappointed in you. She's terrified you're slipping into a hole you can't climb out of. Listen to what they're actually saying underneath the annoying delivery. There's usually wisdom buried in there. But here's the other side. You're allowed to make your own mistakes. Part of becoming a man is rejecting the life your parents planned and building the one you choose. Just do it respectfully, and do it while supporting yourself financially. Have the hard conversations. Tell them what you're working toward. Show them your plan, even if it's rough. Let them see that you're not drifting. You're navigating deliberately, even if the destination looks different than they imagined. Most parent-child conflict stems from fear. They're afraid you'll suffer. You're afraid they don't believe in you. Bridge that gap with honesty and progress. Show them through action that you're handling your life. Earn their trust by demonstrating competence. And when they're clearly wrong, when their advice doesn't fit your situation, thank them for caring, then do what you need to do anyway. You're not betraying them by living differently. You're honoring them by building a life you're proud of. Here's what'll happen. In 10 years, you'll understand them better. You'll see why they worried. You'll appreciate what they sacrificed. You'll probably apologize for being such an ass during this phase. But that's future you. Present you needs to find the balance between respecting their support and claiming your autonomy. The fastest way to do that? Start earning money, contributing to household expenses, and demonstrating that you're a functioning adult, not a permanent dependent. Nothing ends parental anxiety like seeing their kid thrive independently. Chapter 7. The Darkness Protocol. Let's talk about the thing most men won't admit. Sometimes you go dark. Not sad, dark. Hollow. Numb. Angry at nothing and everything. Replaying imaginary conflicts. Simulating arguments that never happened. Holding grudges against yourself. It's not always triggered by external events. Sometimes your brain chemistry just turns against you. The nervous system misfires. Serotonin drops. The world loses color. You can have everything going right and still feel like garbage. That's the cruel joke of male depression. Here's what nobody teaches. You can't think your way out. You have to act your way out. When darkness creeps in, you need a protocol. Not a feeling, not motivation, not inspiration, a mechanical sequence you execute regardless of how you feel. Here's the formula. SCAFA. Sweat. Exercise until your shirt is drenched. The body holds trauma and stress in muscle tissue. You have to discharge it physically. Run, lift, fight, climb, doesn't matter. Move violently until the fog starts lifting. Clean eating. Stop poisoning yourself. Cut the processed garbage, the sugar bombs, the drunk meals at 2 a.m. Eat real food your grandmother would recognize. Your gut microbiome directly affects your brain chemistry. Feed it accordingly. Abstinence. Whatever you're using to numb out, alcohol, weed, porn, video games, social media binges, stop. Cold turkey. 30 days minimum. Your brain needs to recalibrate its dopamine receptors. Family. Even when they're annoying, especially when they're annoying. Physical proximity to people who love you rewires your nervous system. Hug your mom. Play with your dog. Text your sibling. Connection is medicine. Affection. Give it and receive it. Touch grass. Pet animals. Hold hands. Get a massage. Your body needs physical warmth from living things. This isn't weakness, it's maintenance. Execute this protocol for 7 days straight. No excuses, no negotiations. Track it. Check off each element daily. What happens? Your baseline starts rising. The darkness doesn't vanish instantly, but it loses power. You start having good hours, then good mornings, then good days. Here's the critical piece. You're not fixing your feelings, you're fixing your behaviors. The feelings follow later. Most guys do this backward. They wait to feel motivated before taking action, so they never act, which ensures they never feel better. Break the cycle. Act despite the darkness. Treat it like a virus. You follow the treatment protocol whether you feel like it or not. And if it doesn't lift after 30 days, get professional help. See a therapist, talk to a doctor, consider medication if recommended. Mental health issues aren't character flaws, they're medical conditions requiring treatment. The strongest thing you can do is admit you're struggling and ask for help. But most cases, they respond to the basics. Sleep 8 hours, eat real food, lift heavy things, spend time with living creatures who love you, stay sober. Repeat daily. Your brain will resist. It'll tell you nothing matters. This won't work. Why bother? Ignore it. That voice is the illness talking, not reality. The darkness lies. It makes you forget every good thing that ever happened. It convinces you nothing will improve. It's a liar. Trust the protocol more than you trust your feelings. Conclusion. Remember that guy in his bedroom at the beginning, scrolling through other people's lives, wondering when his would start? Here's what he didn't know. His life started the moment he decided to stop waiting. Not when everything was perfect, not when he felt ready, not when circumstances aligned. When he took the first ugly, uncomfortable action toward the life he wanted. You now understand what most men never figure out. Masculinity isn't complicated. It's basic disciplines, executed consistently, compounding over time. Protect your time from digital theft. Build your body into a weapon. Start earning money today, not someday. Get comfortable with rejection. Create real human connections. Navigate the parent relationship with maturity. Have a darkness protocol ready. That's it. That's the whole game. No secrets, no hacks, no shortcuts. Just fundamentals done faithfully until they transform you. 6 months of this, you'll be unrecognizable. Different body, different bank account, different confidence level, different social circle. 1 year, you'll barely remember the person you were. The problems that felt impossible will seem quaint. 5 years, you'll be the man other lost guys wish they could call for advice. But here's the final truth. Nobody's coming to save you. No perfect job offer, no dream girl who fixes everything, no lottery ticket or lucky break. The cavalry isn't coming. You are the cavalry. Every man who's winning right now started exactly where you are. Confused, broke, lonely,
uncertain. The only difference? They started moving before they felt ready. They built momentum. They collected small wins. They trusted the process even when it felt stupid. And one day, they looked back and realized they'd become someone their younger self would admire. That's your path. Not easy, but simple. Not fast, but certain. The world needs strong men. Not perfect men. Not men who never struggle. Strong men who face reality, accept responsibility, and do hard things anyway. Your generation is drowning in nihilism, distraction, and despair. Be the example of what's possible when someone decides to build differently. Start today, not with everything, with something. One workout, one job application, one conversation with a stranger, one honest talk with your parents. Stack those single actions into days. Stack those days into weeks. Stack those weeks into a completely different life. This is your moment, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, right now. The man you're capable of becoming is waiting on the other side of consistent action. Go become him.